Celeb Secrets is hanging out with Miranda and Peyton from Bunked. First of all, I cannot believe I'm saying Miranda May and Peyton List in Bunked, and it's not 2015.
I know. No, that's different. Really different.
Like I said, I just cannot believe that we're all on a Zoom call talking about Bunked. It's crazy to think that, Peyton, you're back on the show. So maybe talk to us a little bit about that, how you were approached with getting back on Bunked.
Yeah, Disney reached out to me over quarantine and asked if I would come back and guest star. And I was immediately so excited. I was doing absolutely nothing at my house. So like everyone else, just quarantining. And I was like, thank God I have something to look forward to. And I was so excited to be reunited with everyone, especially Miranda, because I feel like from the second I got there for rehearsals, I didn't even step foot in my own dressing room. I was just in hers the entire time. And we got to just catch up on everything. And it was the best. I had missed so many of the crew and the writers and the whole family there.
And it's so crazy to think that Bunked is now in its 5th season. Obviously, we knew it was a good concept. It was a good show. But what do you think really made it stand so long? What do you think that lasting impact is?
I feel like Bunked is so successful and people don't get tired of it because one, there's this, evolving space of characters and revolving within that in and of itself. I feel like there's always new people. And I think also just that there's somebody for everybody. No matter what season you look at of Bunked, there is such a variety of people and there's so many different types of people and so many different stories told, and you can find somebody that you can relate to. But also I think the thing that makes shows so successful, or has made a lot of shows successful, is that element of fantasy. And it's odd to say that in 2021, it is this, fantasy now to want to go to camp. A lot of kids can't go to camp now. And it's an escape. It's this cool dream to be like, oh, I wonder what it would be like to live at camp. And now you can continuously watch that and have all these friends to hang out with. So I think a lot of things play into it, but yeah, I'm happy that people like it.
Right. So now maybe take us back to that day when you guys were filming on set. I mean, Peyton, you touched a little bit on it, how you were in Miranda's dressing room almost the entire time. What was it just like, the whole atmosphere? Everyone must have been so excited that you were all back working together.
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting because it was like I had never left. I felt like it felt so familiar and nostalgic, and seeing all of the sets. Yes, there's new sets and everything else, but it still just felt so homey, and it felt so comfortable. And that was really surprising to me, actually, for it to feel as comfortable as it did. I think also that has to do with the people that are a part of it. And it really is just such a, supportive, loving group of people. And yeah, the fact that Miranda was there. I mean, we spent every day together. When we started Bunked, we slowly became best friends, and she's like a part of my family. She'd come over for family dinners and sleepovers, and we have the same birthday. We get along so well. We feel, for a while there, I was like, we're the same person. Like, we just really did grow up together. So it was nice being reunited.
So maybe take us through the storyline. Obviously, people haven't seen this yet. What can we really expect without giving too much away?
I mean, there's a lot to expect. I mean, this is the first time that we're going to see Emma back. First of all, we're going to see her for the first time in years. We don't know what she's been up to, so we're going to find out where she's been, what she's been doing. But also we get to see her connect with Lou again and see how their friendship is now, more so as adults. Yeah. And there's a lot of adventure. What else do you think, Faye?
I think it really is interesting, even for myself when I was reading the script, to see where the writers put Emma and where she is in her life. I think that's always a concept I was obsessed with as a kid. I mean, even on Jessie, we did an episode where we flash into the future and we see where everyone is. And I think it'll be fun for people to see where Lou and Emma's friendship is at, and just where she's been in her life.
If you guys could bring any other original cast member from Bunked on for another episode, who would you guys want?
Karan. I would totally want Karan. I love him, and I think it'd be fun. As much fun as it was to see Emma, it'd be equally as fun to see him. And if we could have both of them back, it'd be awesome. But yeah, I would bring Robbie back for sure.
watching these episodes now, I see like the inner themes in them. Any, moment in your life where you faced your fears and you just went for an opportunity, even though you were afraid to?
Oh yeah. One that sticks out in my mind was the first time I ever tried to do stand-up comedy. That kind of terrified me because I grew up with like the image of comedians being like people that were in their 40s, or you know what I mean? Obviously that's not true, but when you're 10, that's what you think every adult is. You're like, they're 45. And so I was 10, and that was such a huge, I don't know if I would say fear, but it did instill a little bit of fear in me to walk on the stage, because I was like, either people are going to think this is super weird or they're going to like it. And thankfully they liked it. But I feel like that was me overcoming a fear for sure.
Oh yeah. That scares. Stand-up comedy is a whole another beast. But I've never tried that. That would be so scary. But I think every day, honestly, as an actor, I feel like I'm scaring myself and pushing myself out of my comfort zone. And a lot of the time I have to quiet that voice, because there is like that imposter syndrome and that thing of, for me, my anxiety is very loud, and it's very much telling me like, you can't do it a lot. And I have to fight it and like almost prove it to myself more than anyone else. And it's funny because when people say things, I'm like, it's nothing I haven't told myself already. Don't you worry about that. Like I'm fighting this person all the time. So I think, gosh, that sounds horrible, but I was even thinking the other day, I was like, wow, remember in elementary school when you wouldn't even get up and audition for the school play? I was the last person and I wouldn't get up. I was too scared. And I finally did get up and I had a whole song prepared. And instead I just sang like, they said, well, we don't really have much time. So if you want to just sing Twinkle, Twinkle, just go ahead and do that. And I remember just being way too scared and just kind of doing it. And I thought, wow, you come a long way. Like I don't know how I became an actress when I was so fearful as a kid, but I do think you just I have to fight that fear and just be like, you got it. Just do it and fight that a lot.